All right, so this chapter is module 3, chapter 8, strings. Okay, I actually have a lot of extra assignments that you guys can work on with strings if you're struggling with it. The book does a good job, explaining, just running through the important things you want to look at. But I'm gonna just use my lessons to teach this, so you guys can follow along with this. So this first activity is going to cover len, slice, for loops, and dot find. Okay, so let's say you had a string called name and it was assigned Peyton Manning. First thing you always want to do with a string is you want to put the index number of each character. And so notice up here I put, so index position 0, we got a P, and then so on and so forth all the way through 13. Len is a function where you pass a name and it gives you the length of your string. So it's kind of confusing because the computer always starts, the computer language, Python, and then other languages too, like Java. You always start at index position 0, but when we count, we start at 1. So there's 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But the last index position is 13, okay? So if you're trying to call something outside of this, you get an index out of bounds error. So then we do name.find. We want to find the first. What it does is it returns the first index position where uppercase M is found. So it's found in index position 7. Now if it's not found, like with uppercase X, it would return -1. So dot find returns the index number of the first character found. If the character is not found, it returns -1. Okay, so slices are pretty cool. You've got in this first one name 4 :8, and that's going to return on M. So starting at 4, and it doesn't go to 8. Now this is kind of confusing too. It goes to this position -1, so it's going to give me those characters on M. Okay, that's standard in Java, as well as Python here. It's kind of confusing why they do this. I'm not really sure. I've never really understood why it's -1. Why wouldn't they just, instead of going to 7 right here, why don't they just make this go to 8? And I guess the only thing I can think of is a lot of times you want to go to the end, which would be the length. So you could go to the len name right here instead of like 8, and it would go to the, this would be basically, it would return 14, but 14 -1 would give me the last position if I wanted to do that. So kind of like we did here, only if I wanted to make this 14 len, and then inside that name, it would return everything to the end. I don't know. So if you only see one semicolon, it depends on what number or whatever you have on the side. So this is basically 0 to position 7 -1, which would give us this blank space. So 0 to 6 right here. Okay, this one would give us from 7 on to the end. Okay, so you'll use slices a bunch with this. So I kind of wrote some stuff down. X:(y) returns the value from position X to Y -1. :X returns the value from 0 to X -1, and X:, returns the value from position X to the end of the string. So when I teach this lesson to the high school kids, what I do, I actually leave all these blank, and then I hand them I hand them 9 Scrabble board pieces, and you know, it gives them something in their hand to kind of work with. So, we always put our index position. So I'll put these down. And again, like all my extra documents, none of this stuff is required, but I do think it will help you learn it. And all the answers are on the back. So let me open up my pen, sketch screen this. So what is the length of your string? You could put down 9, but really the length is len, str. And that's for all strings. You've got your len function, you pass in the string, and it's going to return how many are in there, okay? What is the index of the first character in the position? 0. What is the index of the last character in your string? 8, okay? What is the relationship between the length of your string and the index of the last characters in your string? So that would be len str minus 1. Okay, so the length is 9. 9 minus 1 would give me 8, which is that character right there, s. Okay, declare a string named word and assign it to the value of your string. So that's just, this is all pretty easy. Word equals, and I've got what, a, b, c, x, y, a, q, r, s. Okay. What is word 2 to 5? So that's 2 all the way to 5 minus 1, which would be 4. So that's c, x, y. Okay. So I need to delete, or go down basically. I want to be able to see this. Let's write it down a little bit lower here. And it's A, B, C, X, Y, A, Q, R, S. Okay, and I can pull this down a little bit. So 7, what is word find Q? If you don't have a Q, use another vowel, or I screwed that up. I think I meant to say A, but let's just assume it's consonant, all right? So where is Q found? You got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's found in position 6, okay? 7, 8. And that's actually pretty hard to write down with this. So what is word 4? So 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is Y, and it goes to the end. Y, A, Q, R, S. Okay, write a statement that will create a new string that contains the first 3 letters and the last 2. So new str equals, so the first 3 would be word, first 3 you could do colon, colon, 3. So 0 to 3 plus, and the last 2, so it'd be word, last 2 are in 7 and 8. So 7, that goes to the end. Okay, so a lot of things with strings, you're breaking apart different parts of a previous string, and you want to assign that to the new string. So you're going to have to get familiar with slices, and I've got lots of kind of simple practice quizzes that you guys can work on. All right, so write a code segment to remove all the A's from your string. If you don't have an A, use a different vowel. Okay, so we've got, we want to start from, we want to remove all. Okay, so this is easy. So while not word dot find meaning while it's not find, so if it does find an A, it returns -1. Okay, so our word is this up here. Okay, it finds it 2 different times. So basically, we just need to do word equals word plus, and then we want to do it to word dot find A plus 1 to the end. Okay, so all this is doing is it's saying, okay, you don't know where it's going to find it in this string. Okay, in this case, it finds it in the very first one. So 0 to 0, that basically, if these are the same, it finds it at 0, 0 to 0. These are the same, so it returns nothing there. So it's just blank. And then it finds it at 0 plus 1, so it's going to go from position 1 all the way to S. So the first time we run this, this word is equal to B, C, X, Y, A, Q, R, S. Okay? So then we got to go back up, and while we don't get a -1 on here, and I need semicolons here, which we don't because it finds it right here. Okay? Finds it right there, the A. We got to go in, and so then we go 0 to where it finds it. It finds it at, this is now position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one is 7. Okay, so it finds it at position 4. So 0 to 4 is B, C, X, Y. And then position 4 plus 1 is 5, so it's then Q, R, S. Okay, and so that's how you rebuild a string without what you're wanting in it. So now it goes back up, and it does not find this, so it gives you a -1, and so this makes this statement false, and it doesn't run it again. Okay, so that's 11 or 10. Sorry. 11, write a code segment to display your string backwards. Okay, so this is just kind of standard stuff that occurs with strings. You might want to display it backwards. So if we're starting at the end and we want to display it backwards, then we probably need I equal to the length of the word -1. Okay, and so while I is greater than or equal to 0, so this gives me, remember my word had length of 9. 9 minus 1 is 8, so I is really 8. Okay, so 8 gives me the last position, and we want to go through to the first position. And so all I have to do here is just say print word. So this would print position 8. And the end of this will be a blank, and then I equals I minus 1. So now it'd be so if this was position 8, it'd print that, then it'd print position 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0, and then they become -1, and it would not run it again. Okay. And last one on this worksheet says write a code segment that counts the number of consonants and the number of vowels in your string. So this is pretty easy. So consonants. For letter in word. And so if so sometimes Y is a consonant or a vowel, but you can do that however you want. So it's counting all the vowels here first. So vowels equals vowels plus 1. And if it's not that, you could just say else. Okay. So there you go. It's pretty easy. All right, next up, we got our string quiz. So I did 3 of these, and you know what I let my high school students, I hand out different quizzes. I got these 3 different quizzes with the hopes that if they bomb the first 1 or 2, they finally study and can get the 3rd one right, because this is one of the, if you don't know how to do these with strings, you're not going to get strings. So it's kind of critical importance. So got to make sure you get that. So we'll just do a few of them. So again, and let me make this larger, because it's really hard to write in. And I'm not going to do all of these. Again, for you guys, I would print these out, and then try to get them on your own. But we can do a few of them together. We'll just do these first 6 or so. So remember, every time you get a string, you got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we got a string of length, looks like 15. So 2 to the n gives me ma Python works. Ma Python works. Then we got this one, gives us 3 to 9. So A to 9 is really 8. So A space Python. Wait, Pyth. Next one, 3 to the length. So it'd be, same thing as it'd be A Python works. Okay. This one's 5 to the end, so you got Python works plus apps, so you got Python works apps. Okay, this one, you get the length, which is going to be 16 times 2 is 32. So you got 17 plus 32, which is what? 949. And then this one you got 1 and 2, so you got U, giants, and you got 8 to the end on works. Okay. So again, you guys can practice all of these. I've got all the answers down here, and I think they're all correct. Okay, so if they're not, let me know. I can fix that. And let's see here. Oh, and there's me testing some of them there. All right, so then I got this right here. And we can go through some of these as well. I got too much stuff open. All right, so let's do this screen sketch. So right here we got S1 is race car, S2 is blank, K is 1. So I'm going to write this down. K is 1. 1 is less than, so you got K less than len S1, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Which is 7. It does S1 0 to K, and that is assigned to S2. So this is S2. Let's look at this real quick. So 1 is less than 7. That's true. S2 equals S1 0 to 1. Well, 0 to 1 on okay, 0 to 1 is R. All right, and then we add 1 to K, becomes 2. 2 is less than 7, so then we've got 0 to 2, RA. Let's see here. Am I doing something wrong here? S1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So then 3, we got 3 is less than 7. So 0 to 3 is RAC. 4 is less than 7. Yeah, I am doing something wrong here. That's 0, 2. No, I'm doing it right. I'm sorry. Okay, so then we got S2 equals 0 to 4. 0 to 4 is that, but it's really, you know, this right here. You got 5. 5 is less than 7. We got RACE. C. 6 is less than 7. S2 equals RACECA. And 7 is less than 7. That's not true. So the final value for race car is, when it prints right here, is race car. It's A. Okay. Now, if you were to print this inside the while loop, you'd get D. I get kids that mix that up all the time because they don't realize that the print is outside the statement. So, so that's that. And again, I'm not going to do all of them. Let's just do 2, and then this video will be done. I'll make the other videos. This is getting a little bit long here, and it's demonstrating the the activity and some of the quizzes that I give out to my high school students. But I'll make the demonstration type programs. I've got 2 pretty good ones that we can work on for the next video for the second part of this. So if we've got our word, and our word is this aardvark, and again, I'm going to make this larger. A R D V A R K A R D V A R K. Okay, that's an A. Okay, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so aardvark gets passed in here, which is S. T is blank. Let's see here. T K blank. K is equal to the length minus 1, so its length is 8, minus 1 is 7. Then we got K. I don't want to do that. Sorry, let me my eraser. We've got K is greater than 0. Let's see how long this lasts for, because it's easier to read, but it's also thicker, so it's harder to write down. So 7 is greater than or equal to 0. Then we got what? We got T plus equals S K through K plus 1. And then we subtract K. So I don't need to write that out. I can memorize that. So we've got 7 through basically 8. So 8 minus 1 gives us that. So T is equal to K right here. So we start off and T is K. Then we subtract 1, becomes 6. 6 is greater or equal to 0. So we've got 6 plus 1 is 7, and that gives us the R. So we've got K, R. Okay. Now I'm not going to have enough room to do this. This is going to be 5. 5 here. 5 is greater than or equal to 0. 5 through 6 equals A. So now we got K, R, A. And just by default, we know that this is the answer because, I could go through it, but basically all it's doing is spelling aardvark backwards. Okay. Let's do this one too, okay? So find S2. Find S2 and S1, basically. Is Madame in Mad? Nope. So return -1, right? And then can you find S1 in, can you find Mad in Madam? And you can, and Mad is in position 0. So this would display -1 space 0, which is C. So anyway, I got the answers on this. go ahead and practice these. Again, I think you learn to read code and solve problems like this before you're able to actually write it. And so that's why I'm putting these up here for you. If you don't need them, don't use them. Again, this is outside the scope of the class. So hopefully this helps and kind of takes place of normal classroom instruction that we don't have because it's an online class. So anyway, take care. And I gotta do this.